Welcome back, everybody, to the channel. It's your main man, Pineapple, here, rocking my brand new pineapple hat, which I got at the farmer's market this past week with my wife. We had a lovely time. So, a little bit about me for you that are new to the channel or friends of friends and are just checking this out. I do like to read, which is why I planned all this out. So I've got all my Stephen King books back here. I've got Robot Devil from Futurama here, from one of my favorite shows. I've got my baseball mitt here that came from the inaugural game here in Tampa at the Tropicana Field. It actually says Devil Rays on it. In there is a baseball. It's a Cubs baseball because grew up a Cubs fan, will always be a Cubs fan, have a Cubs tattoo. Got some cats. They're running around here somewhere. I've got a Blue Point Siamese, Bella, and I've got a black cat, just a little domestic short hair, Serafina. They're great. If you don't have cats and you have the opportunity, get some cats. They're wonderful. Also, we're going to be talking about some music here. We're going to talk a little bit about wrestling. So, if you haven't noticed already, there's a couple things. This is a little rough video. I don't know how to do editing yet. I don't know how to play music in the background yet. But I got somebody who offered to kind of help me out. But I want to get something out there a little bit, the demand is out there, so I will give the people what they want, rough or not, warts and all. So this is what you're going to get. All right, so let's talk about some music. So in the previous video, I said we're going to be talking about OK Computer by Radiohead, which came out in 1997. More specifically, I'm going to be talking about my favorite song on that album, Paranoid Android. Now, this song is an interesting song. There's a lot of movements in the song, and if you're not a big nerd, music nerd like myself, what's a movement? Well, let me lay it out like this. So you know that song Bohemian Rhapsody? Everybody knows that song. You know how there's parts that you have your operatic part, you have your hard part, and it just kind of flows and goes, and it's all crazy, but when you sit back and look at it, beautiful. It works. This song is kind of like that. Starts out, it's all light and airy, and there's some percussion and acoustic guitar and Tom singing. Da, 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 da. It's nice, and that goes on, for the first 2 minutes of the song, 2.5 minutes of the song, it's all cool. Then all of a sudden, bam, hits you with some hard guitars, and you get like the main guitar theme that's going to continue on for the next 4 minutes. It's going to appear, it's going to disappear, and so that's going to appear in different forms. But that, it's its first appearance. It goes on for about a minute or so, and then we switch back. We switch back. It gets all light and airy and slows down a little bit, and then and then it starts getting layered, and you get some background vocals, and you've got lyrics on top of that light airy part. It's kind of, in the background, so you don't know exactly what he's saying, but it's there. So when you're listening to this, listen to it, but then go back and read the lyrics, because I have no idea what he's saying. Fast forward, we're going to go into about the 4 minutes and 30 part, more layered, and, continues, for about another minute or so, and then we get reintroduced back into that hard guitar, that ba ba da 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 da, and it gets crazy. Speeds up, you get some distorted guitars in there. Tom singing. It's an interesting song. I love it. Usually in music, I'm the guy who says, the lyrics are important. I wonder what they're singing about. What's the content? What does it mean? This song, exception to the rule. No clue what he's talking about. Don't really care what he's talking about. It's light. It's fun. You just sit back and you're like, it's an experience, man. You should definitely check it out. All right. So let's talk about some wrestling. All right. Talk about wrestling. So if you guys didn't know, WWF, which is now the WWE, is no longer the only game in town, which is cool for us wrestling fans. So out there, you've got AEW, which is the other mainstream. It's actually on TV, on cable, on TNT. And their main wrestling star, you may have heard of him, Chris Jericho. He's the greatest. You should, if you don't know about Chris Jericho, you should look up some of his promos. They're great. He also has a house in the area, so that's really cool. I've actually met him before. Super cool guy. The only guy who I've ever been starstruck by. I've met a lot of celebrities over the years living down here. They come through. And, only one I've ever been starstruck by, which is funny. I've met baseball players. I've met legends of the game. I've met Mike Schmidt, down here when he was down here for spring training. I've met Charlie Manuel, down here. I've met Sinbad. Sinbad, cool as hell. Made me laugh the entire time I met him. He was just cracking jokes. He's just such a great guy. Never starstruck. Chris Jericho? Oh, yeah. I was like, hi, how are you? It was ridiculous. It's a good thing my wife was there to speak for me. So, anyway, enough about that. I tend to ramble, so I'm going to try to stay on topic here. So this new promotion, AEW, they've got this wrestler who's becoming more and more known. His name is Orange Cassidy, the OC. It's a comedy wrestling. He kind of makes fun of the business. He wrestles with. He's got his hands in his pockets. He's all apathetic. The stiff kicks of doom are great. If you don't know about that, look up Orange Cassidy stiff kicks. Hilarious. Also, they've got some other guys. They got a guy who dresses up like a dinosaur. His name is Luchasaurus. Also excellent. But that's that promotion. But there's other promotions out there. You got New Japan. You've got Ring of Honor. You've got Impact, and the indie scene in the wrestling world is coming up. There's a lot more. It's becoming really popular. There's a lot of little independent companies coming up and around, a lot of local wrestling. So my point is, WWE no longer the only game in town. So it's a lot of fun. People are like, oh, Pineapple, hey, it's fake, right? And to that I say, well, yeah. If it's on TV, it's gonna be fake. Your shows on Netflix, those are all fake as well. But you love them, you watch them. It's just something I enjoy. It's fun. So that's what I say to all the haters. Just enjoy yourself. So there's that. So we've covered music. We've covered wrestling. Let's cover Florida. I haven't really seen anything crazy about Florida man in the news lately, or Florida woman. Must be the cold. It's been getting a little chilly down here. It's going to get down to 49 degrees tonight. So that's pretty cold for us. Actually, in a couple days, our winter's here. It's going to be 39 degrees, and we're all going to lose our minds. All right. I'm going to be out there. Shoot. It's 67, 68 degrees out right now. And, I've got the doors open. It's not nice to not have the AC on. But later on, I'm going to have to go out. It's going to be, lower 60s, upper 50s. And I'm going to be bundled up. I'm going to have a jacket, long pants, shoes, which is, not really my style. It's not what I prefer to do, living in Florida. But somehow I'll suck it up. And we'll make do. Alrighty, so that's kind of the short version. I'm sure these, as time goes on, these videos will get longer. I promise. We'll talk more in depth about some things. But, just want to keep it light. So you guys have a great day. And always remember, I am the table.